I'm going to kick in. I'll kick in briefly, just as a bit of a thank you. And this is Best of British Beer 1. I won't hide it and say we've got one saved over. Do you want to collect these for them and take them in? This is just a little bit of a thank you for allowing us to do this yet again. And okay, come on. That is brilliant. So that is for you.
Oh, that's amazing.
I quite like that one too. Right.
Chris.
We'll kick in. We'll kick in with the two that aren't really voted. Not even sure why I'm holding this one. Most unattended isn't here. You literally couldn't make that up, could you? No, right. When I was going through all of these, not only have I had to go through some of the photos, I know that they weren't on some of the photos, so I had to go back and look over some videos. It took me a while. I've literally gone over them about 5 times and recounted. And we had a joint first, which was 11 runs out of the 12 attended. But one of them stood out a little bit more because they had an operation the day before we had the run and still came and ran anyway, even though they shouldn't. So that was kind of a little bit of a foot up, and another one went home early. So it can a run and a half more. I know it's not much, but that was Martin. That's Martin Hughes. And I know Martin and Andy, they run together, but Martin Hughes. I tell you now though, the next one, Andrea, had run 10 of them. And also Jenny, you joined second
Yeah, like
place.
I get any choice though.
It was really close. There was quite a few that were really close together.
Paper weeks.
Rachel, you got the 4th. It was the amount of continuous attendances. Actually pretty good. But I'll make sure that Mark gets that one anyway. Which then jumps us on to the most miles mustered. Which is always fun. It's always fun. Now, Mark won this last year with his some of the runs that he does, like a little mountain goat, isn't he? But you didn't win it this year, mate. You haven't turned up to enough. It's quite disappointing.
I thought 2 would have been enough.
To be fair, when we did that, the next 2, Martin ran 10 miles when we did 6. And then the next one, he'd ran a half marathon to everybody else's 10k. He almost won it off those 2. I couldn't believe it. I'm topping them up. And again, we actually had a bit of a competition between 2 people. And believe it or not, the person who came out on the top of it all attended more too. And it was Colin. Colin with the most miles mustered. You are always running to the back, mate. And then you see yourself at the front and quite regularly. You only just beat Martin's 2. Voted for cheerleader. There was actually quite a clear winner for this one, for cheerleader. We did have a couple of split nominations. Rachel, you got voted in for always being quite happy and joyful and chatting to people all the time, again. But multiple nominations for the exact same one, for genuinely cheering everybody on and just being brilliant. Claire. Again, sweetheart. You're obviously noticed because you were voted a hell of a lot. Well, this will be up them. I didn't vote for you. Which then, right, so we've got awards of recognition. Now, there's a lot of votes for all sorts of things that came in for these. And this particular one, this person technically won it, but only because they were the most voted. As in, they were voted for cheerleader, they were voted for genuinely being funny. I don't know how, Tim. And then they were voted for recognition. He was literally the most voted person. So recognition goes to you, Tim, for this one. You were the most voted person. Well done.
We're going to have to get t-shirts made. I know Tim West.
Hashtag Tim. Very right, hashtag.
Now, some of these are difficult, which is why we have 2 recognition ones as well, because I get to have a bit of a choose out of all the nominations that come forward. And I won't lie, this was difficult, because there was quite a few, and some people were picking specifics. Jenny, you were mentioned a couple of times. Never left anybody behind. Literally, if you're at the back, Jenny will go to the back and just stay with you.
Well, yeah, of course I will.
Because you like the pets. But there was loads of little bits of all sorts, and there were 2 people that stood out. They're genuinely out there all the time, and they're always friendly, but not actually known as such because they're not quite loud. This particular one, though, did get more votes, cross-voted, and were voted for outside of this run as well as. And Spencer, yes, you were voted a lot, mate. You're very supportive. You're always asking how people are. You're quite a lot, character. Well done, mate. Oh, you can't do that. Well done, mate. But thank everybody else, not me.
Bringing all those clubs, that's paying off.
Shining Star. No. I do like some of the Shining Star ones. We cross. Sometimes people think we're actually being nice about it. We're not. The Shining Star's for, well, Tim, basically. Not, you haven't won, it's okay, mate. You were voted, though. You're funny. You're generally, but it was funny in a nice way. We don't want that. Okay. So they were discounted. That's why you got the recognition. To be fair, Claire, you had a couple of shouts for being funny too.
Yeah.
And being quite cheerful. Rachel, again, you got funny for always running like Bambi when it gets muddy. I quite like that comment. Excellent, you got the Bambi one. But we had one that was a bit more of a standout. Oh, hang on, no, because we had another Tim vote for recce a route, even though people warned him not to come on a recce with me.
Thanks, Jenny.
I know, it's outside of this run, but technically, and it was the first time anybody's ever said to me, have you ever thought about turning back? Oh, we were running round in circles in fields that didn't have styles. I was lost.
120.
We didn't use that route. It wasn't very nice. Oh, how were the nettles things?
Still got the scars, mates, thank you.
It was brilliant. The next one was actually kind of a recce situation. So there was one vote specifically for falling on her arse down some mud, and everybody else stood there laughing. I quite like that. I missed that on camera, sadly. And the other one was for running into the same stick twice. That was quite good, but there were some genuine votes for it at the same time. That she's genuinely quite a funny girl, whether it's actually having a laugh or just laughing at her for ranting. Well, Simone, or Simon E, as some people call you. Come on, Simone. Well done for that one, sweetheart. You had to.
Thank you.
Small side note on that as well, for everybody else. Thank you for voting me. I did get quite a few different bits of one of recognition. Not for me though, so that kind of, please did you vote, don't do that next year. Don't do it next year. It's absolutely fine with that. So thank you very much for everyone on that one. And the recognition is you lot keep coming. I've met a lot of people through this that I wouldn't have known elsewhere. And ran with many other clubs as well at the same time. I think it's brilliant, apart from the fact that I can never pick a race without meeting someone. Everybody's everywhere, and I've tried, believe me. 100-mile trip to Wales and there's 4 or 5 people. But thank you very much for it, and I appreciate this too. I'll see you all next week, yeah? I'm expecting 40-ish. I don't expect it every time. Thank you very much. But a round of applause to yourselves. Thank you.
I think we should say a thank you to
I think you should say it thank you.
We can finish having more cake and finish the oatcakes off.
We say a thank you to you.
Well done, Tim.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing them.
Thank you.
Lurking at the back.
For Jenny for being forced to come to them all.
Yeah.